my channel. As you can hear, my voice is not cooperating with me today because my sweet grandbaby left me with some of her daycare germs. And you know, those daycare germs hit a little different than regular germs. And no, it's not that plague that we, all know about. It's just a simple situation. Anyway, thank you for joining me today in my kitchen. Today we are going to be preparing lemon melt away cookies. These cookies are simple and easy to make. They only have 4 ingredients. The 4 ingredients that you'll need for this particular recipe are softened butter, condensed milk, cornstarch, lemon, and lemon zest. That's it. And if you visited my channel before, you know that I love using gadgets. I'm going to disappoint you today because I'm not using a lot. The only thing that I'm using today is my rubber spatula, and I haven't decided which cookie scoop size I'm going to use today. I think I'm going to use both because I've never done this recipe before, because I love doing things in front of you guys for the first time. So we'll do both sizes to see which one we like better. Now, this particular recipe does not call for confectionery sugar, but at the end, I'm gonna dust these cookies with a little confectionery sugar just for appearance. So let's get started. To this bowl, we're going to add softened butter, and you wanna make sure that your butter is room temperature, not melted, but just soft. And to that, we're gonna add our condensed milk. Now, the measurements for this recipe will be listed in the description box, so you don't have to worry about that. And as I always suggest, if you watched my channel before, or if this is your first time, whenever you are putting together a recipe, whenever you're doing a dessert, make sure you get your ingredients together before you start the recipe, because you don't want to start a recipe and then go, cornstarch, what is that? I don't have any of that. Can I substitute that with something else? So in order to not frustrate yourself, I suggest that you get all of your ingredients together beforehand. So what I'm doing in this bowl, I'm just mixing together the condensed milk and the butter. I will mix this until it's well blended. And now I'm going to add my lemon juice and my lemon zest. Now, the cornstarch in this recipe, it calls for 3/4 cup of cornstarch, but it also tells you to reserve 3 tablespoons of the cornstarch because you want to be able to determine how, you don't want your dough to be too liquidy or too loose. So we just mix that in. See that? Just mixing that in. And then I'll go ahead and add my 3/4 cup of cornstarch. Glad I didn't wear black today. Oh, it's coming together already. Look at that. Just keep blending until this mixture forms a soft ball. Now, I want you to see something. Basically got all of my cornstarch mixed in, but it's not forming a soft ball. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a little cornstarch, just a little at a time. Not all of it, maybe about a teaspoon at a time, to see if that will help my dough to form the soft ball. And it looks like just that little bit that I added is helping this dough to come together. Look how quick this recipe is. Still a little sticky, see that? So let's add just a little more cornstarch. Just a little. Now, I'll tell you, for this recipe, I love lemon. Lemon is one of my favorite citrus flavors. And I was thinking about possibly adding some Loraine oil, but I don't want to jeopardize the consistency of the dough because you don't want it to be too loose. So I don't know. The Lorian oil is really, really concentrated. So I didn't want to compromise the consistency of the dough, so I decided not to use it. Maybe I'll try it, at another time. I'm gonna add again just a little bit more cornstarch. It's coming together, but you're not gonna be able to form this into a soft ball. So just continue to add in a little cornstarch at a time. I'm looking so serious. I don't know why. I was thinking about something, that's why. I was thinking that I wasn't gonna share a story with you all today because I'm trying to reserve my voice. So, here we go. Here is our dough. See that? And just like that, we've got cookie dough. So now we're going to take our cookie dough and place it on a lined baking sheet. I love using these mats because you don't have to worry about your cookies sticking. If you don't have these mats, use parchment paper. You can even sometimes line your baking sheet with a little butter. I don't think that'll compromise your recipe at all. Okay, so let's try using the smaller scoop first. All right, just gonna place that on our baking sheet. Yeah, I'm gonna continue to use the small one. And we're gonna place these at least 1 inch apart. Make sure you can see that. Some of this other stuff out of the way. There we go. I don't like a messy kitchen. Okay, and so we're gonna simply use our little small scoop. This scoop size, I would say, would be probably about a tablespoon. Now the recipe tells us to form our cookie dough into a little ball. See that? And I've already preheated my oven to 350 degrees. And if you've watched my channel before, you know that I love using a oven thermometer. So today I'm using my little small oven. I don't know if you can see that behind me. I'm using my little small oven today. And I actually had to set the temperature to 375 in order to reach that 350 degree temperature. Sometimes just depending on the weather outside or just different variables. If you're cooking with gas, you can find that your oven temperature can be different. Today I'm cooking with electric. So there we go. We've got 6 of our little cookies placed on our baking sheet. See that? And what the recipe tells us to do next is to flatten your cookie dough out just a little bit. You don't want it to be flat, but just a little bit. And I'm actually going to do that with the top of my scoop. Yeah, because I don't have any flour on my hands. I just don't want it to stick to my hands. There we go. And I can see some of the lemon zest. I hope these are really lemony. Okay, we're gonna place these in our preheated 350 degree oven for 13 to 15 minutes, just until our cookies are brown around the edges. While our cookies are baking in the oven, I decided I needed to show you what the Lorian oil looks like. So this is Lorian, and I got this. I don't know if you can see that. You see that? I got this from my local Walmart. Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to tell you guys about, if you watch my baking with an egg substitute recipe, I wanted to see if I could incorporate the egg substitute in some other recipes that I have. So I like to make pancake mix ahead of time, and then all I have to do is add the liquid. So to this jar, I added all of my ingredients for my pancakes, and all I have to do is just add a half a cup of water and some vanilla. See, And what I did was I just wrote on the jar exactly what you need to do. So you just add the water, shake it up, and you got pancakes. Now, in addition to the egg substitute, I also added powdered milk. Look at that, they're golden brown on the edges and they puffed up just like the recipe called for. So we're gonna place these on a cooling rack and let these cool for about 10 minutes. And then I'm gonna dust just a couple with powdered sugar for presentation's sake. But remember, we added condensed milk to these cookies, so I'm sure they're sweet enough. And you know me, my little hands are tempered, so this doesn't bother me at all. Yeah. So let's let these cool because we don't want to taste a hot cookie and have it melting away our tongue. And our cookies have completely cooled. I wanted to show you the bottom. See how golden brown they are? That's how you want your cookies to look. And I'm gonna dust a couple of these for presentation's sake with just a little powdered sugar. I'm gonna use my little strainer here. Just double dust just a little powdered sugar on top. There we go. That was more than just a little. Now you know what time it is. Taste test time. Now these are called lemon meltaway. Let's see if they melt away in my mouth. Soft and very lemony. These are good. You know what this reminds me of? I don't want to say the name of the, well, I can't even remember the name of the cookie. This cookie reminds me of, there's a brand called, I think it's called Archway or Arrowway. They've got a little lemon puff cookie that they sell. But guys, 4 ingredients. You can make these yourself. These are really good. So thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen today. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you don't like, share, and subscribe, how am I gonna know you want me to continue to make these videos? Thank you so much. Be blessed.